Zoe, candles. Candles. Do you want to ask any of the with you too? Yeah.
Sorry?
When you're in the sea, someone walks in there.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
And I was in Scouts, they never taught me that.
Is that not waving but drowning?
Yeah, that's okay. That's not okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom to those of you who are at home. I'm saying Shabbat Shalom to you first, and Shabbat Shalom to those here in our synagogue. And tonight we have a special service, especially inclusive, welcoming service, and we welcome Hani and her friends from Langdon. So lovely that you're here, and I know that you've been having a workshop on setting the Shabbat table before the service, so we welcome you and everyone. We will be doing Makaton signing during the service tonight, Alison at home and Beverly and Zoe here in the sanctuary with very familiar prayers that everyone will know. So we are going to begin singing Shalom Aleichem, song about angels welcoming Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon. Yi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Yi Melech Malachei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Yi Melech Malachei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon.
Having been slightly welcomed, let's stand to light our Shabbat candles. I'm going to ask Hanit and friends to light our Shabbat candles with Zoe tonight. Those of you who are at home, this is your moment to grab your candles ready to bring in Shabbat. Zoe lighting with Hanit. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. Let's go into Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'nalela. 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 Shamo v'zachor b'divurecha, ishbiyanu el hanyuchad. Adonai echad v'shemo echad, v'shemu tiferet v'nutila. נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, עם כל הברכה, ראש מקדם מסוכן, סוף מעשה בזמן שבת נקרא. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורח אורי אורי, אורי אורי שידברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נקרא. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. אורי ושלום עטרת נעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, אמוני גם סגולה, בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה. לך אדוני נקרא קלה, ונשבת לקבלה.
Let's stay standing. For those using Siddur Lev Chadash, we're on page 92, ready to go into the Baruch Hu. Having welcomed Shabbat, having, we hope, let go of the difficult things of our week and ready for a moment, oasis of calm. Let's go into Baruch Hu.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravi. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening full. And now our blessing before the Shema about love and being loved.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha avta, Amcha avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Hugim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגיע יומם ולילה, ויומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תעזוב ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Devod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Devod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Devod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed.
Join me. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol mo'odecha. V'hayu hadavarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'barta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'leftecha v'derech, u'v'shoppecha u'kumecha. Ukashatam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu latotafot beinenecha, ukatavtam al muzot betecha, uvisharecha. Foot of page 95 if you're using Siddur Lev Chadash, or if you're using our relaxed resold on page 8. Micha Mocha, miracles.
Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, chamocha edar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot oseferet, nora tehilot oseferet. Adonai Elok, Le'olam va'ed. Adonai Elok, Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed.
As always, we pause before Hashkivenu, our evening prayer for Shalom Bayit, for absence of fear and distress and upset, as we offer with Deen Hashkivenu. Baruch Ata Adonai, Apores Sukat Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel. Let's stand for the Tefillah, the Amidah.
Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Svatai Tifta. Anananananana Uvi Yagid. Uvi Yagid Tehilateka. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Svatai Tifta. Anananananana Uvi Yagid. Uvi Yagid Tehilateka. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Svatai Tifta. Anananananana Uvi Yagid. Uvi Yagid Tehilateka. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Svatai Tifta. Anananananana Uvi Yagid. Uvi Yagid Tehilateka.
So we're just going to offer a few of the prayers in the Tefillah before we sing again Vashamru. So thinking of our ancestors, of how we've ended up being pulled to be in this service tonight. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei v'Nehem, Lema'an Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Hozeh Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Machaye Meitim Atah Rav Lohoshia. Mashiva Ruach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal. Machalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Machaye Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim V'Rofer Cholim, U'Mati Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishnei Afar. Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gvorot, U'mi Domelach, Melech Meimit U'Machaye U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'ema Nata Lahachayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Machaye HaMeitim. You are holy, awesome is your name, we have no God but you. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God, and Vashamru as we mark Shabbat.
Vashamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם, בריתולם. Vashamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם, בריתולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, berit olam. Yishetev yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם berit olam. Ubayom השביעי שבת וינחש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם berit olam. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם berit olam.
I think we've really celebrated Shabbat just now, but I cannot resist. This Shabbat, Parshat Emor, in the midst of Leviticus Vayikra, talks of the counting of days and reminds us of why Shabbat could be something special for us. And many of you know I love the writings of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, and he wrote about Shabbat, about the Sabbath, saying, the meaning of Shabbat, the Sabbath, is to celebrate time rather than space. The seventh day, which is Shabbat, beginning obviously tonight until tomorrow night, the seventh day is like a palace in time, with a kingdom for all. It is not a date, but an atmosphere. And then the particular word for rest that we are told to take is a word menucha. Menucha, which we usually render with rest, means here, about Shabbat, much more than withdrawal from labor and exertion, more than freedom from toil or strain or activity of any kind. Menucha is not a negative concept, but something real and intrinsically positive. So this is what we celebrate on the seventh day: tranquility, serenity, peace, repose. To the biblical mind, menucha was the same as happiness and stillness, as peace and harmony. But in later times, for us too, menucha becomes a synonym for the life in the world to come, a sense of how you can create for yourself the calmest, most easeful, most rich and full way of resting and enjoying your rest. So let's offer the blessing for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'yamcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahavat tekabel. U'tehilu ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha b'yera na'avod. And as we offer our thanks, our gratitude, as we go into Shabbat, modim anachnu lach she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu, magen yeshenu, ata hu lador vador, nodeh lecha נספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. We're going to take a moment for silent reflection instead of Shalom Rav, just a reflection to bring on that peace and ease before we offer Oseh Shalom.
Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Just want to give us a chance, for those that would like to just reflect on the idea of the miraculous, the idea of being able to, yes, I'm loving you signing miracles, so I had to think of something else to allow you to sign miracles. The idea of that sense of wonder and amazement in our lives. And I shared this morning, and I'll share again in our morning meditation service, a piece of writing by Rabbi Shefer Gold about the ability to be aware of the miraculous in our lives. But I also was given today a poem by Charles Bukowski called Miracle. Let me share both. Sit, close your eyes, be aware, mindful before we go into the end of our service. I have just listened to this symphony which Mozart dashed off in one day, and it had enough wild and crazy joy to last forever, whatever forever is. Mozart came as close as possible to that. And then Rabbi Shefer Gold. So just as you pull on that menucha, on that positive attribute of rest, the treasure, she wrote, is where you're standing. I just had to tell you, though your gaze is fixed on distant shores, and though you're scanning the sky madly for that one miracle that will tuck your doubts to bed and kiss them away, you're looking for the one that will clinch it, aren't you? Well, you're looking too far, because the miracle is where you're standing. Miracles are commonplace. They can walk in broad daylight and not be recognized, but rare, oh so rare, is the one who can step up to that imposter ordinaire, rip away the mask and say to each and every day in its disguise, ah, this here and now is miracle, and I wasn't fooled for a minute. The miracle is where you're standing, but who would think to dig beneath the soil of his own complaint? So we're going to close our service with Aleinu.
Kaddish.
Yes, before Kaddish. So we're going to...
Aleinu.
So we don't have Aleinu in here, but we're not going to do Aleinu. We're not going to do Aleinu. I am just going to share a moment of Aleinu. Thinking ahead and what we hope we will bring to our world. Aleinu allows us to imagine a world that we contribute to, not just the world that we receive. So let me remind us that tonight is the 21st day of the Omer. We have been counting since day one. We are going to count all the way to 49. We are finishing right now the third week of the Omer that calls on us, as I say often, Sefirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer, plays on the idea or plays on the pun of the Sefirot of God, the attributes of God. And last week was Tiferet, beauty and balance. And now, as we say the blessing for the 21st day, as we're about to embark on the 4th week, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. So today we say Hayom Hachad ve'esrim Yom shehem shalosha shavuot ba'omer. That this is exactly 3 weeks of the Omer tonight as we close that week of beauty before we go into the next, which we'll hear about for tomorrow night. And for now, let's just be mindful that so much of what Judaism gives us is the capacity to count our days, to break up the monotony of our weeks with Shabbat, to break up the way that our lives and the year surrounds us with the days of festivals in our Jewish life cycle, as well as the rites of passage in our own lives. So let's now move straight into, Kaddish, and I ask you all to stand for that. Just opening Kaddish, remembering who we are thinking of this week. So this Shabbat, we think particularly of Alan Aarons, husband of Sheila, father of Beverly, of Margaret Davis, aunt of Eleanor Davis, of Mark Dalton Eldridge, husband of Charlotte Dalton Eldridge, of Stanley Lister, father of Adrian Lister, of Rudy Oppenheimer, brother-in-law of Corin Oppenheimer, of Ruthie Samuel, wife of Igal Samuel, Brenda and Russell Smith, parents of Simon Smith, and of Andrew Staker, father of Dean Staker. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may all those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss, as we say the words of the Kaddish with them. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shamei rabbah, b'yama divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dochol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam omer maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitaleh v'talal shemei dekudusha brichu leila min kol berchata v'sherata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'hayem aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru. Amen. Final blessing for all of us. Page 14 in the Relaxed Resold Siddur.
Yesimcha Elohim Ephraim v'hi Menashe Yesim Elohim Sarah Rivka Rachel Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'el Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom Adonai
blessed by Dean, by Shabbat. Let us go straight into Kiddush now. So at the back is Kiddush, but because we want to all be one community, I'm going to offer Kiddush here as you amble to the back, to challah, to wine, or perhaps others will bring it to you if you'd like. So let's stand anyway. Stand for, it looks like wine's coming to you. Shall we?
It's only a short one today.
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
We're doing shorter Kiddush tonight. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. So huge thanks for this service tonight, to Zoe, to Beverly, to Alison at home, to be signing and enabling and doing so much preparation before the service. We hope that more and more people will come. If we build it, more will find it accessible. So thank you all for being here, and there's more Kiddush at the back for this, for the end of this evening Shabbat service, but family service tomorrow and falafel Kiddush. So feel free to come to that as well. Shabbat Shalom to all of you at home.